And here comes Donda. Da 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 da.
So we're once again in Kanye album rollout season, and like there's the Kanye approach
Ah,
where like it's this like slow foreplay where like nothing ever really happens, and then like maybe you finally get like 3 minutes of like rapid thrusting like inconsistently, and in the form of like The Life of Pablo or like I Hate Being Bipolar, It's Awesome, or whatever those albums are. But like, yeah, Kanye album rollouts are one thing, and then you get Drake, who's just like, the album's coming, but it's a kind of a guessing game of when it's gonna drop. But one Friday you wake up and it's just there. There's no bullshit. So at least there's that. I'm literally comparing shit to Shinola here, but here we're at this part of the Kanye West album rollout where we know Donda. It's been rumored honestly since like 2015 or whatever. It was rumored a lot, so often that it's going to be an arbitrary scale on Audioface very shortly. But an ad that for a Beats by Dre commercial. This is such a star fucked, featuring recently ousted Olympian Sha'carri Richardson. Um, Featured Kanye West's song, apparently a song called No Child Left Behind, that's off of the Donda project. And that commercial aired during game 6 of the NBA Finals. And then shortly after, there was a listening party that was announced in
mhm.
Atlanta for people to sort of listen to to listen to the album. The idea was the listening party would be on Thursday, and you simps would actually believe Kanye West in saying that he would release the album on Friday. Obviously, that didn't happen because that's where we are on Audioface. We haven't heard the album yet. At the time of recording, we haven't listened to the album. And if it does drop, we'll definitely listen to it on our normal schedule and give it a review then. But the appearance at the festival, like the Atlanta like listening party, it was in the like Mercedes-Benz Stadium or something like that. Bizarre to say the least. It was just him kind of on like a white sort of stage. You can confuse it for a hockey rink almost. And he's just sort of like walking around. He wasn't really saying anything. He was just like super EDM DJ space barring it, just like letting it play.
Of course. Just like it's the funniest thing where these people simp for Kanye West, but the dude is absolutely off his tits crazy, and all these people pay this money or all these other things. If you look at like the concession stands too of how expensive shit was for it, it's like it's absurd how out of touch people are. Um, and
I
then
mean,
it's just kind of honestly, it's just kind of sad.
yeah, like in a broad sense, like I'm numb to this, but it's really interesting how Kanye West. I mean, he has a storied history. We've done so many clips on Kanye West, almost more than any other artist on Audioface, sort of because he was doing this like presidential run thing and flirting with office, and that became a weird thing, like a meme sort of, at least in 2020. It sounds dumber and dumber in retrospect, and I'm glad we kind of covered it for the lunacy that it was. But part of the media was kind of like giving in to the hype because they know it'll get attention and clicks, and Kanye hype is a thing. That's why he sells sneakers and clothing and all that other stuff. But it's very much out of touch with the reality, and that Kanye West is a person who's dealing with a lot of attention and trauma all the time, and he has mental health issues that in various different moments like are more accentuated and episodic than others. And all of this media attention isn't doing well for him. And that's all to say, like, this isn't like a victimless Kanye West here. Like, he's also not doing well for himself in the situation either. And so it's kind of like a bad feedback loop that we often see in the worst cases where artists like spin out and die because of drug overdoses or whatever, where you have the artist isn't doing well for themselves. The people around them, that artist, are enablers, and then the fans and the media are just like participating in the whole
Yeah,
circus for the circus, not necessarily because of like the art or like caring about the artist.
yeah, exactly. Um, and then there's one thing that I thought was very interesting because the album or part of it or whatever it was played at the stadium and stuff. So there's a couple tracks featuring a couple different artists. Notably, one of them was Jay-Z at the last track, but no female artists,
Huh.
which is a shame to me because of how good female rap and trap artists are in the past 2 3 years. How they're just fucking destroying the game right now. At least to my knowledge, there's nothing on that album. Nobody.
Yeah, I'm looking because the Donda track list was like teased
Mm-hmm.
momentarily.
At
Um,
least from what I saw it, and then what people were saying without the stadium who did it, they didn't see anybody or hear
yeah,
anybody, I
no,
should
that
say.
based on what I'm seeing of this like 15 track listing that I have here, I'm not seeing any women. Which, yeah, that's a really good observation, Sean. There, and it's just like It's wild. It's
Testosterone
wild.
Island, baby.
It's wild. Like it's not even on like a social justice sort of thing.
It's just more like you have like a plethora of female artists that are destroying it, who would honestly, I think, be very good.
Jump at the opportunity. Like Kanye stuff
contributions.
aside, yeah,
Exactly.
like we have our qualms with Kanye, but if they had the opportunity to work with Kanye on a project, like a lot of artists are in some ways here or there inspired by Kanye West, like openly, that'd be great for them, especially and these women as well.
Think of
So
like No Name and Kanye, like that could be a wild but really good collaboration.
that would take a lot of conversations. I don't know if No Name would do that collaboration. We'd have to like in a vacuum see if these things work together. But yeah, like that could go hard. Like when you get and you might get this here, like doing some, I guess, previewing of the record, like maybe this is Kanye West returning to his mostly producer focused kind of thing. He does this like bullshit raps here and there, but he lets these more accomplished like folks of today, Pop Smoke, Don Toliver, Pusha T, Playboy Cardi, Travis Scott, etc., Roddy Ricch, Ty Dolla $ign take on the lead. Vori in a lot of tracks, they take on the lead there, and you said Kanye West with the production, which is where he's the best currently. So
100% the best. Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not saying the best, like, of all the artists. I'm saying, like, of what Kanye West can do, of everything he's doing right now. Way better production is better of what he's doing.
Than he is as a rapper.
100%. Yeah.
Because the Kids See Ghosts project, I thought there was some pretty decent tracks in there and stuff. And his production and everything on other tracks that he's touched have been pretty good. Because I know he produced the Lil Nas X single that we can't really talk about either because singles rule. And I thought it was actually pretty good production wise. So he still has that left. But antics and stuff just get tiring after years and years and years of this.
I will make one other point, I guess, because this is a Kanye segment now. It's interesting. I'll say it in like I guess black context to see how Kanye West pivoted to spirituality and religion to sort of like massage his image. And it's almost like the Chris Brown treatment. All you do is just, and then like you can take this out of like a black context. This is kind of like an American thing where you mess up publicly. It used to be the thing where you just turn to Jesus, become like super Christy, read a lot of books, do a lot of photo ops with like religiously related things. And like that would do it for you. That would clean up your image and your record. And it seems definitely in a hyper context way. There are a lot of black people who could be pissed at Kanye West for Trump things, for Kardashian related things, etc. But like, it seems like most of that's gone. It's nothing but goodwill. It's like, oh, he's great. He's the best like ever. And it feeds into this not only enabling, but just in a purely Audioface reviewing things context. Like Kanye West Prime was a decade ago and not really much sense, unfortunately. Like that's, I'd like to see different. It's not on that trajectory at all. But like that's just kind of the reality here. Kanye West hasn't really been looking at a proper banger to the likes that what she was doing earlier in his career since, and everything since then has been progressively more embarrassing, I'll say.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. The Life of Pablo was just like a regular, not great record. Everything he's released after that has been absolutely embarrassing. Like as an artist, like he should be embarrassed to have released those projects afterwards. But we'll see. Could be, maybe, not likely, but we'll see. We'll definitely talk about it and review it. Also, sorry to jank it out, but super last thing. Kanye is currently apparently living in the stadium Mercedes-Benz right now because the album's not done. Kanye West will not take the due date as a challenge or a requirement. He will edit the album after it's published, so help him God. So he's still finishing the album, putting finishing touches on it, and he is in the stadium. He was just wandering around the stadium during a soccer match between Columbus Crew and Atlanta United, wearing his like ski mask thing, just like taking notes, whatever. It's an experience.